Okay. Now what we need to do is to put that black dot in the center. But what's that black dot called? Do you know? Yes, sir.
Pupil.
Yes, very good. But don't do it. Just watch. Just watch. Okay, we're going to put a pretty decent sized pupil in the center here. But also we're going to make a little notch that comes out of that. And the reason we're going to do that is because we have what's called highlights. Our eye is round, and we have a little bit of liquid on our eye, or it's just wet. That's the way our eyes are designed. And then we have these lights that are hitting our eyes. So if you take a look in your mirror right now, you may not see the highlight right in your pupil. Hey guys, you've got to put your head up. You can't look down. Kind of put your head up a little bit and allow some, not that far. All right, you're going to see little white specks in your eyes. Okay, we need to draw, kind of suggest that. Now, eyes back up here. So we're going to do something that almost looks a little bit like a Pac-Man. And we're going to take a little notch out. Now, this notch is about 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock on a clock. If we had it'd be 1 to 2 right here. We're just going to take a little piece out. And then the pupil itself is pretty dark. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to shade in the pupil. All right, you may go ahead and draw your pupil, take the notch out, and just kind of fill it in. It doesn't have to be completely black, but it needs to be a darker shade of gray. It's going to look something like that. All right, so we are also going to start shading this to look somewhat realistic. Ladies, I need your eyes up on the screen. Now, first of all, Eric, pencil down. We need to suggest that the eyelid up here is darker because it's not catching as much light. So we're going to put it kind of in a shadow effect here. I've got to go with a different pencil. All right, so I'm going to take my top eyelid line and I'm just going to go over it a couple times just to give it a darker, heavier look. Please don't do this yet. Just watch. All right, you don't have to make it really gigantic, just a heavier, thicker line. All right, then we have the iris part of our eye. That's the colored part of our eye. Now, if you take a look at your iris right now with your mirror, you're going to see that in most cases, your iris has a darker edge, like around it. Now, if you have really dark brown eyes or almost black eyes, it may not be quite as obvious. But again, I said in most cases, we are going to go with a darker, heavier line for the iris. In fact, I'm going to put my pencil, I'm going to lay it on my side like this, and I'm going to make that a pretty dark, strong line right there. I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Just go over it a little bit. Give it a thicker look and a heavier, darker look. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do that right now also. All right, so you are going to, and just watch please, okay, we're going to take our pencil, and there's two ways of doing it. You could actually draw lines like this if you would like to. All right, but you'll notice that I'm trying to go heavier here, lighter as we go in. Or you could even take, and we're almost going from that line there, and go on the side angle. We just don't want this to be scribble though. All right, we could go dark to light this way. The thing is you've got to turn your paper because we can't shade all the way across like this. So I'm going to continually turn my paper. So we're going dark to light. You got to get it to fade as you go in. And we're actually not even going to take this pencil shading all the way up to the pupil. We want it to kind of fade into white. So I'm going to have you guys go ahead and do this now also. We're going to shade our iris dark to light, lighter as it gets closer to the pupil. We're creating the dark to light. What's that called? If a color has dark to light, those are called starts with a V. Anybody know? Value? Value? All right, looking in the mirror, and you look towards the inner corner of your eye, you will see that pink fleshy area. That's where your tear duct is. Okay? So right here, this is the inner corner that I'm talking about. I had it kind of rounded when I in this drawing. We're just going to basically round that off. That's where the tear duct is. And we're going to kind of fill that in. That little pink fleshy area is just going to be just a little bit darker. Hey, listen for just a second, then I'll give you a chance to do this. The other thing is, though, our eyeballs are actually a circular ball shape. All right? Because of that, we don't want to leave this flat white. We want to try and give the illusion that it's a ball shape. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put just a little bit of value down. And when I say a little bit, I am talking just a little bit. And then you can take some tissue. You can use your finger if you want. I don't encourage a lot of shading with your fingers, but because the tissue helps out a lot. And then we're just going to shade just a little subtle gray right there. And I'm going to do it on this side also. So I'm going to put a little bit of pencil graphite down right here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of tissue or my finger, and I'm going to blend that. Whoops. Just to suggest we're getting rid of the white so that now it's a white with a little bit of shading on the edges to make it look circular. All right, would you go ahead and do that, please?